Getting ready to do a live here. I don't usually do evening lives. Usually I do them at 2 o'clock. But today we are having a studio artist open house right now. And so I'm going to do a live this way so that people come to check out what we're doing over here. They can just see it real close. It's a little bit easier to see. So these are my colors today that I'm going to work with. Yeah. Hold on. I'm getting there, people. Anybody have a really hectic day? It really hectic day. Okay. There, it's better. Hello. Okay. There we go. I'll get some lip stuff on y'all. Okay. Kiln is on. Ready to go. Okay, so today I'm going to be making a bead. And I remember one of the other lives that I did, people liked watching the squiggly lines that I was making. And so I'm going to do another diacrylic bead with 3 different colors of squiggles. So they're going to have those weird lines that kind of go all the way around it. So I'm going to be using green filigrana. This is green filigrana. This is Italian soft glass. I'm going to be using regular white. Just regular opaque white. And then we're also going to be doing brown. Periwinkle blue. And then yellow. So I'm going to do this other green and then yellow. And then I'm going to encase the yellow, the blue, and the brown. And then I'm going to stretch them out into stringers. And then we are going to make the beads. So there's all kinds of prep stuff you got to do before you start making everything. There we go. All right. So, here. All right. Let's do the thing. So I'm going to encase the tip of a few different colors. And here we go. Let's do the thing. Okay, cool. Okay. So that's about right. So I'm going to take the yellow, the green, and the brown, and I'm going to encase them first. So I'm going to heat them just a little bit first. And you don't want to put them too fast into the flame, because if you put the soft glass into the flame too fast, it will pop. And then you'll have shocky, poppy, little hot shards of glass everywhere, which is not the best. So I'm going to heat it about 1.5 inches down, and then I'm going to encase it. So here we go, line by line, very slowly. And you want to heat it, superheat it where the clear is right above your joint. You don't want to get too close into your joint, or you'll be melting the wrong space. Is the yellow getting a little wonky? Yes, yes it is. Is that okay? Yes, yes it is. There we go. Alright. Let's get it all the way to the top. There we go. Then I'm going to take a punty. This is a short clear rod, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it to the top, and then I'm going to grab the end of this and stretch it out into a stringer. So I believe that this is medium lemon yellow, and this is Moretti glass. This is Epitrate. It's Italian soft glass. My name is J9Scott. I've been doing the glass for about 26 years. My studio is here at the Manitou Art Center, and I am live from the studio tonight from First Friday that we decided to do on a Saturday because of this general strike. So we are here today on a Saturday. So I'm going to pull this encased. So that's encased yellow. I'm going to do a little bit more since there's a little bit on here, and you might as well grab it. Just because if you're doing the squiggles and you run out of a color, it's kind of a bummer. So since I've got a little bit left on here, I'm going to pull that as well.
Yeah, like if you're looking.
Stretch out this little bit right here. Just a little bit, but you never know. I mean, it's better to have it as a backup. If I use it, cool. If I need it, that's going to be an awesome thing to have. So that's my yellow stringers, encased yellow stringers. Now we're going to do this periwinkle blue. Okay. Chunk fell off. You gotta definitely slow cool it. Okay, now I'm gonna encase this one about 1.5 inches down.
There she is. Oh, there she is.
1.5 inches down. Go, and you want to have each layer really close to the last one again, like I did in the last one. It's really important if you're going to encase something that you go right next to the last layer and get it super hot so you can squish it in to that last layer. Almost all the way to the top, and then once I get to the top, I'm going to make another plenty and stretch and pull out another stringer. And then we will have yellow and periwinkle encased stringers to make the bead with. Get it all melted down, and then I'm going to grab it at the end and I'm going to stretch and pull. Wee little wonky here. Little wonky. Alright, here we go. Grab it right there. I'm going to pull it out. Italian soft glass, it melts really quick. Just gotta be ready for what it's doing. And I'm gonna pull this one all the way out. Right, so I've got yellow and periwinkle ready. And I'm going to pinch off the end of this one.
When I go to March and shoot all the rest of them, like this. I don't know her. I don't know her.
You're already involved in
Okay, pulling out real slow. Sometimes this color likes to shatter when you are mid-pull, so you have to be really gentle with it. You gotta work it way up top over here if you're gonna pull it into a stringer. If you have it too high, it will pop. So you'll get like midway through your stringer and suddenly you'll be sitting with a chunk of it at the end, which is no fun. That's just not ideal. It's not what you want. Well, maybe it is, but it's not what I want. So, be real gentle. Hi. Okay, I'm going to try and pull out quite a lot of this one. Okay, we're going to say that's probably about good. That's quite good. Green filigrana. And the next one we're going to do is this brown. Just going to chase that. And then we'll be ready to go. My bangs are not properly located. Alright. So I'm going to encase this brown, and we're going to have yellow, green, brown, and periwinkle.
That's it.
Up real slow. There we go. Very nice. Okay, again, this is Italian soft glass. I'm pulling all my components to make the bead. Grab the end of it, and then I'm going to pull it out to a stringer. Wonky, wonky, wonky. Grab that end. Pull it out slowly. This one might not be quite enough, so I might have to do 2 of these. Yeah, let's do a second one of these. It's just a bummer when you run out of it.
Oh, I like this.
There you go. Alright, brown. Do one more of these, a smaller one. Got a runaway piece there. Anything you're giving? Okay. Do another case of stringer. You want to just get this end warm enough to where you can receive the clear, but not so warm that you can bend it. So it's a little tricky, especially when the initial color that you're encasing is pretty thin, which is the case today, right now. We can do it. The trick is to get the clear very hot and the brown not as hot, so you can kind of wrap it around. If you put your heat in the wrong place, the whole thing will just wilt. It becomes a hot mess. Literally. There we go. Plenty. It's a little handle, and we're going to grab it on the other end, and we're going to finish pulling this last stringer, and then I'm going to start on the bead. Grab it. So make sure I've got two of those just in case. Okay. The brown. Pull off the end.
Shows up great online or any other color. Other than black.
All right, here we go. So this one right here, I'm going to use, this is a mandrel, steel, and I have it covered with a clay, what's called, it's a bead release. This bead release that I'm using today is Dip and Glow Ghost Sludge Ultra, and so that is a J9Glass and supply sludge. So it's actually called a bead release, and that makes it to where the glass doesn't stick to the clay. So I am going to start with this black, and no, it's not intense black, it's just regular black. So we're going to get this one hot. So I'm just going to heat it up first. You got to get it to where it's red hot, so the mandrel is hot enough that the glass can stick to it. And we're going to do a nice layer here. So your first layer of the glass. My first layer. And I'll probably do a few layers. I want this to be a big bead, but not a monstrous bead. So I am making a glass bead right now. This is Italian soft glass. And my name is J9Glass. I'm a glass bead artist at the Manitou Art Center here in Manitou Springs, Colorado. My website is behind me, so if you care to check it out, please do. There will be new things on the website soon. Over the past month or two, there will be new stuff. Right. It's a nice base. I'm going to take this diacrylic. I'm going to put that on top of this. We gotta get all the bubbles out first. Melting, we're melting. There it is. Okay, that's a reasonable base. I like it, I like it. So I'm going to add the silver diacrylic to this. Gotta keep the bubbles. Okay, here we go. We have there, actually. Yes.
I was in the background of your video.
All right. Yay! I knew.
I did a little butterfly too.
Oh, thanks.
But I'm gonna let you focus.
All right, thanks. Here we go. All right. There we go. Gotta get those dang bubbles out. Almost there. Dude. Watch my window, bro. Somebody almost banged my window with a gin day. Hey, diacrylic. Here we go. This is silver diacrylic, and this is coatings by Sandberg. That's people that do the coatings. And this is black glass with a silver metallic stuff on top of it called diacrylic. And when applying diacrylic, you want to make sure you're only heating the black end or the clear end, depending on what you have done. But don't heat the diacrylic part. And then very slowly, layer by layer, and get silver onto that base plate. Hello. Hi. Okay, now we're going to put clear on top of that. There we go. Clear. And again, this is Italian soft glass. And this is diacrylic, and this is a base bead of diacrylic. And I've pulled some stringers, encased stringers in different colors. And I'm going to be squiggle lining layers of those encased colors. So here's the first layer of clear to go on top of it. So heat where you're going, not where you are. Your heat should be on your clear, right above your joint. You don't want to have it on the joint where you're encasing. Otherwise, you will not only superheat the diacrylic and possibly burn it off, you can also smear your design. So whatever you're encasing, trying to put it right above the joint. So that's where your superheat is coming from. This is our first layer, and then we're going to start making squiggles happen. I'm going to start with the yellow and then work my way green to brown. Okay, so we're almost totally encased. Here we go. Okay. This is first Friday, so first Friday on Saturday. We're having an event here. So usually my lives are, you'll be able to hear me a little bit better. The acoustics in this room are a little nuts. So you get to be part of the party in the room. There's a bunch of people here, so that's good. Yeah, but we're doing demos here at the Manitou Art Center. figured I'd do it live on YouTube so that people that wanted to watch see what I'm doing. So equal sides. It's a nice little size for a big bead. I love it. Okay, so we're going to start with yellow, and I'm going to do my squiggly lines on yellow. I saw my friend Beverly today. Beverly apparently watches my lives sometimes, and she said she liked the squiggle ones, so Beverly, this is for you. Alright, there it is, and I will show you what this looks like. So far, looks like I got a big old bubble. Usually bubbles happen when you're being careless, so it's very possible I'm distracted, but that's okay. Look at the bubble out. Ready? Let's do it. Usually for bubbles, I try and get underneath it, especially when it's like you've got some layers on there. If it's not coming from the first base bead, it's coming from the top, you can just kind of put your paddle underneath it, push it up, and then pop it with the heat. Sometimes that works. And sometimes it doesn't. You know, the glass is pretty funny sometimes. It can get it funny sometimes. Alright. I'm going to show you what this looks like so far. We just have the base. So we really haven't gotten anywhere yet except for the base. So we got the first part of the bead going. So now we're going to put the lines on. So I'm going to start with this yellow. Yellow. So we're going to do squiggly lines with yellow. I'm actually going to take it off onto. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Squiggle time. So I'm pretty much just drawing on the glass with this. And I try and give it a little bit of space. There was a time when I used to like to do these, and I used to do them very tight all over the place. But I found if I'm doing layers, it's better to do them a little bit separated, so it's not too crappy. Alright, now we're going to do the top. Right. And this is what that looks like. And now we heat it up, melt all those lines out, and then we're going to encase it. And then we're going to do another color of lines on top of that, and another color on top of that. That's the plan, y'all.
Yes.
It's nice and busy here. Isn't that fun? I get to be here. I'll just tucked in. It's sort of weird because I'm usually part of the action that's going on around here, but I decided it's a studio tour today. So I'm on torch so that I can show people what I do, and I thought it'd be easier to do a live. Usually my lives are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Mountain Standard Time, and it's quieter, and that's when I usually do it. I like to do them 3 times a week. If you notice that J9 is live, come join me. I figure I gotta turn the torch on because I gotta work, so you guys might as well come with me. We can all work together. Alright, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to melt this in. So all those little squiggle lines are now melted in, and then we're going to put clear over this, and we're going to put more lines on it. Okay, now I'm going to put another layer of clear on top of that. I wonder if I should do brown or green next. I think I'm gonna do brown next. And do green on top. Okay, I'm gonna do encasement for this. I'm gonna make sure you get as close to the hole as possible. I'm really trying to get it as close as I can. And then you want to sink it in so it has a nice pucker on both sides. So here we go. I am heating above the joint, not on the joint, above it.
J9,
Yes,
are you still on live?
I am. I'm on YouTube.
Something from you.
Thank you.
You know what I got?
What'd you buy?
Elena sent me to buy the little heart.
Oh, good. Good. Well, enjoy it. I hope you love it.
Jordan said you should keep making them with a smiley face.
I should do more of the smiley face ones.
Yeah.
I will. Good to see you. Okay, so I'm going to keep going down here, and I'm encasing, and going all the way down. It's a very silly scene in here right now. Who knows what they're doing over there. Okay, so here's the yellow, and I'm encasing it, and then we're going to get all the way around, melt it all down, and then we're going to do brown, and then we're going to do the green. All the way. There we go. Now we get as close to that hole as possible. There you go. Now we're going to melt it out. It's starting to get a little bit bigger, so I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. Just a little. I'm going to get too hot and scald the glass. Again, this is Italian soft glass, and it can get too hot, it can scald. Okay, I'm going to heat it into that air right at the hole, and then I go over here and use gravity to kind of shrunk it. I don't know what the term is, but you just melt it down and use gravity. And I usually call that a shrunk. I'm sure it has a technical name, but when I want it to fall, I use gravity, get it really hot and let it fall. I guess gravity drop would make more sense, but I like calling it shrunk. That feels really appropriate. Got a nice shrunk. Alright guys, so I'm going to check out this is the next layer, and this is where we're at. And I'm going to get on either side just a little bit. I'm going to melt it just a little bit more on the edges near the hole. Chlunk, chlunk, chlunk. And go to the other side and get that hole nice and puckered. You gotta pucker up that nice edges.
Wait, you know what? Don't even put that on here.
Okay.
Maybe. I was selling, yeah,
Okay, now we're gonna do brown. Or wait, no, we're gonna do yellow, brown. I'm gonna do brown. Is the brown?
Again, they're great. My studio's around. I was in the big room.
Here we
No,
go.
it's actually around the corner up here, right across from the
Here we go. Okay. And that's the second layer of stripes on that. Okay, now I'm going to heat this one up. Okay, we're melted all the way down.
This is J9Glass.
Love you, bye! I'm doing a live on YouTube. So there's a YouTube link right there.
Yeah, you can watch her right now.
So I've got a little window in my studio, and there's people that can kind of check out what I'm doing. And so I've got a little QR code that has what I'm doing right now, so that people can tune in.
She's cold.
Okay. Both ends, we got brown and we got yellow. And then I'm gonna add the green. I don't think I'm gonna add the periwinkle at all. So it looks like space spaghetti, but it's gonna be good. And every once in a while, you definitely want to soak the heat in, especially if you get to be a very thick piece of glass. Be sure you're getting it very hot and then letting it soak in. You can get a big old red molten glob at the end, which is great, but you have to make sure you let it sink into itself. The heat doesn't sink in, it starts to kind of scald. Both ends. Just so you know, I usually do lives on Tuesdays, or not Tuesdays, at 2 o'clock. We'll probably be doing on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I'm trying to develop my days of the week, but if I'm going to be live, usually I'm at 2 o'clock. So today is kind of a special live. I usually don't do them this late. So this is what this looks like. Alright, now I'm going to do another layer of clear, then we're going to put the green on it. Okay, so I'm melting it all in. And now I'm going to do big squiggles for the green because it looks like I'm getting kind of crowded on here. more clear on it. Let's do it again. Clear again. Oh, a big bead, y'all. A big girl. So for a technique like this, with a very heavy bead, it's important you have a good bead release because you need to be able to put things upside down and have it still stick to the glass, stick to it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And thank you so much for all of your attention and likes. I really appreciate it. Do check out my website at J9Glass.art. I also teach classes here at the Manitou Art Center in Manitou Springs, Colorado, where we are having our first Friday today on Saturday. So that's why I'm doing a live late. And just demoing a big monster bead that takes about an hour to make. So this is where I'm at with that bead. I started about 45 minutes ago, so these bad boys take a minute. You know what's funny about glass too, is at any point in time, I could screw it up, and there's no fixing it. So, fortunately I've been doing this for 26 years, and I don't mess up as much, but sometimes, I'm telling you, some days are not easy. Alright, so I'm almost there. Melting out that clear, and then we're going to put a layer of green stringer on top of that. You want it to be going through the bead, so when it starts getting really thick, when it starts getting really a big bead like this, it gets to be a little bit trickier to heat, because if you get it too hot, it'll scald it, but if you don't keep it hot enough in the middle, it'll crack. So it's really important to be mindful of your heat everywhere all the time. This is Italian soft glass, COE 104, and COE means coefficient of expansion. That means the rate at which it heats and which it cools. So when it melts and it's cool. So different grades of COE will make it to where they're not compatible. So glass that's like borosilicate glass, for example. What was that? Sounded like it.
Yeah.
So this is Italian soft glass, and yeah, it requires a lot less heat, and it melts a lot faster and moves a lot quicker than the borosilicate. It is, I would recommend personally, that if you are interested in playing with the glass or starting to learn how to make glass things, I would recommend starting with Italian soft glass or with any kind of soft glass bead making, and then move on to borosilicate if that's what you want to do, for a few reasons. Borosilicate requires a lot bigger heat and equipment, and the glass is a lot more expensive, and it's a lot harder to wield if you don't have the right torch. But overall, the soft glass, this, is harder to work with because it melts really fast. But once you control this stuff with less heat, the borosilicate's not as difficult to wield. It's different stuff altogether. I mean, depends on what you want to do with it. But yeah, both awesome things. Gotta love me some glass. Okay, we're gonna do the last layer of the green. Get my hole looking nice right here. Side. What's that?
How long are you taking that for?
I don't know. So this one's probably going to take me another 15 minutes. And then I don't know whether I'm going to stop and put it back on, or if I'm going to stop, or what I'm going to do. Because it's not super crowded right now, which is surprising.
Elena's very excited to see
Okay.
what do you think that?
I'm getting there, sweetheart. I'm getting there. All right, here's this. This is a monster piece of the bead. Okay, we're gonna put the green on there, and I gotta remember to make big movements with this. If I make it too small, they will not machine. Try big swirly movements. Big swirly guys. Just don't want them too tight. They are too tight. They look crowded. If you don't give enough space to this type of style of bead, with this much color and movement, you have to make sure you don't overcrowd it. I know this from experience. I've spent lots of time making this style of bead, and I have absolutely overcrowded it before. And then bummed out that I spent an hour on something that did not work. But it's the name of the game, man. Here we go. Okay, melting down all the green filigrana. So it's taking a minute. Alright, there we go. Gotta get the green all melted in there. Sometimes I leave the last squiggles up so that they're raised, and that looks kind of cool sometimes. Almost there. So, how was your day? This stuff takes a while. Melting that last bit of spaghetti. soak in a little bit. Yeah, when you start working with larger bits of glass, it definitely gets a little tricky because you don't want to underheat the middle because it'll crack. You don't want to overheat the top layer because then it'll scald. So there's this kind of weird situation you have to have going on. Balance. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Very spaghetti. It's coming, y'all. Here we go. Still coming. One bead. This is an hour-long bead, so this is a long sip. So this is how long this bead takes to make. So if you see this thing on my website, you can see that this is how long it takes to make. So let me get this thing evened out. All the lines are looking pretty good, but now they're looking shape. So I have a marble mold, but I do not believe I have one big enough for these. So let me show you one now. Okay, I'm trying to heat it all in the middle, so try and get some of these rumple strips gone. So I want this to be smooth. And I usually like to try and use the torch and try not to use my tool a whole lot. I don't know that that's a thing with anybody else, but that's kind of what I prefer. Get this all melted out. Get it all flat. It's good.
Good idea. See you.
Okay, almost there. Thanks for hanging in with me. Take some time. Okay, I'm just trying to round this out now. I'm just trying to get the shape down. It's coming. Trying to round it out a little bit more. Just about done, I think. Just melt it down the middle. Alright, we're almost there, y'all. Shape is looking nice. Alright, we're almost there. I know I keep saying that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody else who's listening or watching, I'm going to do this final little bit of heat, and I'm going to take it out into the kiln. I'm going to show it to you. the website tomorrow so you can see it. Kind of wild, right? Okay, I'll wait for this thing to cool for just a second. If you put it into the kiln too fast, it will leave these horrible little squidge marks where the fabric isn't firm. There it is, y'all. I think it's wild. Okay, here it goes. About right. And that'll do it, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. That was 1 hour. If you want to like and subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. And I do lives usually at 2 o'clock. I haven't decided the days yet, so if you check out at 2 o'clock, I'll be around. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you on the flip.